Morning. How we doing? Hope you can hear me fine. So we are live just before the news. We are 7 minutes away from the news release. So we are looking at NQ and ES just like usual. Let's see what we get as a news driver. What sort of price action, I mean. 8:30 we have got core PC price index, employment cost index, and unemployment claims. We are 7 minutes away, so that is what we will be looking at. It's ES here, NQ on the left side, and this is how the daily chart looks. This is 1 minute on both the markets. This is 5 minute on ES. This is 5 minute on NQ. We have been trading in premium since the open. This is where we open. Asia rallied higher, midnight open continued grinding higher, and then we had this impulse move higher in London. In the first session around 3:55 we saw that reversal that took the London sell side once it was closed. Around 6:50 macro was used to do that run, and then so I'll remove my drawings for a while on this. 4 hour we have got this big BC, so I have graded that using my fib, sorry. Hey, how we doing, man? Thanks for joining the live stream. So on 4 hour this is how the NQ looks, and if we look at ES, this is how ES looks, kind of similar. So I'm expecting some sort of reversal inside this range. That will be, I think, as a manipulation move at the 8:30 news driver. But let's see. I'll be trading on my 4 evaluations. So something really funny happened. So previously, my funded future used to have this daily pass out thing in their program. I never realized that in their new program it was over, and they have got the consistency thing, 50% consistency on their evaluation now. So I kept on pushing higher and made 3,000 on my one account, and ended up knowing that I will have to trade again and make another 3,000 on this to meet the consistency. But I've got three new where I'll be targeting to make the 1,500 for the day today. But let's see, the price action can be really manipulative, so we'll be taking it easy. We have got non-farm payroll tomorrow, so yeah, need to be really cautious and won't be leveraging high here. So yep, I mistakenly use the other charts. So this is the 4 hour. I think it can also use this VIX consequent encroachment. So I will be marking that out on my chart. Let's open up the drawings. I'm sorry about the messy charts, just like usual, but this really helps me, and I cannot really, you know, think about trading without this. So this is not daily. Change it to 4 hour and copy it. How are we doing today? Morning. How is everyone looking at the market? How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing good. Good to see some new names in the chat. Thanks for joining. So I've got this marked. Let's see, we are 3 minutes away from the news release. So we were running inside the 4 hour inefficiency that I showed you just before, both on ES and NQ. But after 8 o'clock open, we are seeing this premium run to, and now it is trading inside the midnight open range. So that is how I'm looking at the market right now. This is 15 minute on ES and it is currently trying to trade into this CB on 15 minute. I'll leave NQ on 1 minute here. We are 2 minutes away from market open. Sorry, not market open, news release. So guys, if we can keep it a little interactive in the chat, it will be really, encouraging and fun. We are just 30 seconds away from news release. We have got three news driver. So expecting, you know, uh, large movement here. I don't usually like look at these news driver. I usually play market open, wait for the first presented fair value gap, and use it to build up a narrative. How is everyone doing and looking at the market? So currently I'm trading at on four of my evaluations. So I'll repeat something really funny happened yesterday. I thought the MFU have still got their um, 1 day passing of the evaluation thing, but on core program they have not. Just give me a second trying to set up my PNL here on OBS and it seems to be playing up a lot. This seems to be fine. All right. And I ended up making 3,000, which was the whole target. All right, we have got the news driver here. Sorry about that. So it pushed higher. Uh, Currently going in that premium wick on NQ. On ES as well, we have got this. So I'll do the similar thing here. I'm expecting some sort of down movement and uh, and expecting these markets to be using this daily premium wake some of the quadrants. So yep, we might be using 850 to 910 macro to look for some sort of, participation, but let's see. So initially ran higher, took midnight open range high on both and continued running lower. Might be coming for this inefficiency on NQ, but we see nothing like that on ES. So can continue lower just from here as well because throughout the day we have been trading higher. Thevraj, is that how we pronounce your name? Sorry if I did it wrong. How are we doing today, bro? I think we don't have your friend yet, right? Right. How are we doing? What do you trade? No, no, I'm not Indian. Do you use ICT as well? And are you trading right now or are you new to trading? Would love to know more about you. So, took the midnight open range high, then traded inside this, using this as a breaker right now to continue running higher. Let's see, I'm going to make it 5 minute. Does it really look very clean on 1 minute? Nice 100. All right. Right, that's nice. That's nice. How long have you been trading for? All right. Seems to be so. ES also traded inside this SIBI completely. We have got 20 seconds to close this 5 minute. Let's see, does NQ have anything similar? It did have a similar thing around this, which has been inverted, but nothing like this. It's a small one here, and then a larger one here. Still trying, seems to be following this retail sort of, diagonal resistance, but I think it will be broken up soon and might use zero point 0.5 as we can see 5 minutes CB here as well to continue prices lower. Take off these shorts as well before running much lower. So that is how I'm looking at the market right now. Let's see how it is going to perform. If you guys are liking this stream up till now, if you can drop a like, that will be really helpful. And if you trade NASDAQ and ICT, I'm here at every trading day open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing and a very specific model. So it will be great if you can subscribe. We are building a small community here of ICT traders and NASDAQ futures traders. Up till now, Thivraj, but if it, gives us anything else, we might change our bias. I do not go with a certain bias for the day. Like I'm a scalper, so I prefer to see both sides of the market, try to see what it can do, just like how I did it here. Like initially, I can see it running higher because to take off these shots and as a manipulation as well because we had a news driver. And then I can expect running lower because we have got this 4 hour, which doesn't really look, sustainable. This run, like this run from here to here, doesn't really look sustainable. It did take this sell side and trading from an order block right now, but still I think it should retrace a little, at least to the consequent encroachment of this whole inefficiency. Yeah, and dog hasn't been retested as well. So I'll show you where my end dog is, and end dog is big as well. So here's my end dog, and I have graded it uh, according to, the quadrants. On ES, we have got this here inside the 4-hour inefficiency. And if you see, the 4-hour inefficiency's consequent encroachment is just below today's low. So we might end up making lower lows for the day at the open. Let's see how it goes. Going to be patient. We have got non-farm payroll tomorrow. So yeah. Yes, sir. I use 5 previous end dogs and 5 previous new week opening apps on my charts as an annotations. So that is why my charts look really terrible. I'm sorry about this, but this really helps me. At least I do not use, uh, various indicators which are just chunking the data and manipulating it and then deriving anything. These annotations are really precise and really helps me to take my profits, my partials, and take my entry using stop loss. So yeah. Currently, my goal is to build patience, and because that is one of my drawbacks. Sorry, drawbacks. Because I cannot really, see the market opening. I take a lot of trades, although I'm a scalper, and it has worked well for me, but I end up doing that not even in my session, just like this Monday, although that wasn't really my playing day. But I ended up sitting on charts for 10 hours or 8 hours, which is horrible and really newbie behavior. So really need to get into these habits and fix them, because that is where the change is made, I think. Time-based arrays, like what do you specifically mean? Yeah. I do use time as a really strong element in my executions. Like we are approaching 8:50 to 9:10 macro, and that is when I'm expecting this to do the run to the consequent encroachment. But I won't be interested in participating in it. Like this seems to be a decent entry, to be honest. Like this is 8:30. It ran higher initially, took these highs, then came lower, took the 8:30 sell side, traded from this busy, also used this breaker effectively, and then continued the run higher. So currently it is referring the midnight open price and open range. So I would love to take a long here and use my stop as 783 and take my targets at 4-hour premium wick, consequent encroachment. But no, sometimes you need to, stay on offsides as well and let them run and do the run, just to build that patience and confidence that everything that you are studying, it's gonna repeat. If not today, then maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then maybe day after tomorrow. But you do not have to force anything here. That is the main thing I think every trader needs to work on. that is themselves. It's not really the strategy that fuels the trader. It's actually us against the market, because we try to master the markets. Instead of doing that, just master yourselves and your emotions. So at the market open, I look for the first presented fair value gap that is taught by ICT in his 2025 mentorship, if I'm not wrong. That is my main model. Then if that is not successful for me, then I wait for the lunch hour profile, which is around 10:30 to 10:50. For example, if we see a nosedive day on NQ at the open for the first hour from 9:30 to 10:30, then it is going to create equal highs after doing this run, and going to run those highs in lunch hour macro or around 11:30. So those are two of my very main models that I use. Also opening range gap fill, which is usually used through the first presented fair value gap. So yeah, those are my models, if that made any sense. If I was able to make any sense there, sorry. So it is retracing to the consequent encroachment here. Let's see if 1 minute starts looking good on ES. Still don't really like this, but yeah. So that is why I did not really want to be a part of it, because we've got NFP tomorrow. So yeah, really need to be cautious here and won't be forcing anything until it is really, obvious. Was I able to answer your question about the time-based array, Devraj? And for the PD array, sorry, for the PD array that really, resonates with me is the fair value gap. I'm not really good with the breakers or the order blocks. Or most of the time it stops me out using them as a precision. But fair value gap is something that really, yeah, resonates with my personality as well. But yeah, still need to practice and refine my execution. It's a whole process, so take your time. Do not rush the process. Keep studying, keep building those reps, and it will keep improving. New trade is tomorrow. I am going to be here tomorrow, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to be playing in the AM session because of how the economic calendar looks. Uh, 8:30 a.m. we have got non-farm payroll. So let's see. I'll try to get on stream tomorrow by the news driver, just like today, and we'll see the price action throughout the morning session, and might also see it through the lunch session, and see if we can participate in any of those runs. But really going to be focusing on being offside most of the time and trying to read price and do the tape reading rather than executing and forcing the setups. So I thought of going long from here, but I did not. I thought it is going to continue its run higher, zero point 0.5, while using the 950 to 1010 macro. It is still in the midnight open range. I would have used my stop this candle's low, but not going to execute it here because yeah, it has got this SIBI on ES, which might be inverted bullishly. I think the liquidity is going to be attacked tomorrow and it is going to be built today. But it's never smart on a NFP week to execute or leverage high on a Friday because that is where most of the choppiness can be expected. So, yeah, we will be doing most of our executions next week with full confidence. Next week we have got ISM, I think, on Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, on Tuesday we have got ISM 10 a.m. and on Thursday we have got 8:30 employment claims. So on Thursday I will try to be live by 8:30 and do similar schedule just like what we did today, if that made any sense. Let me know if I'm not able to answer your questions. You can ask again, no worries. So just like what we expected here, ES seems to be inverting this bullishly, and then it can use the midnight open price and this inversion fair value gap again. We are approaching macro, so next minute is the 49 candle that can dip inside this consequent encroachment, allowing ES to book in longs to continue its run higher. This will be a manipulation run to take this high and hit the consequent encroachment. Let's see if we have got any SIBI. I think on a higher time frame, like 5 minute, we have got this. Yeah, 5 minute SIBI here, which had been traded into and referred before, but I am expecting it to continue here towards that region. And none of this is trade advice, guys, please. So it's only to read price action and do your own study. Be consistent with it, and then you should know when you are ready to put in risk. So just like what we expected, 849, so 50 should be in discount to continue its run higher. If we take long here, that will be 12 point stop. Seems to be tempting. And then 824, so 20 point runner. I will actually tag long here. Seems to be a good run to be a part of. Let's see if it is going to provide us with it. It can also end up playing the, so just going to, yeah, use the top of the bodies here. And then because the regular trading our closing price is 23,667.75 on NQ, while on ES it is 6431.75. So we are trading an extreme premium, sorry, and we are also approaching the regular trading hour closing price. So this run is actually a manipulation that I'm expecting, and the main run would be towards the regular trading hour closing price before 9:30 open. So we'll have to trail my stop accordingly here. You can call me V, bro. All right. Seems to be working out just like what we expected. I'm going to mark this inefficiency that I was expecting to be bullishly inverted on ES, and that is why I took the long. It came down, took the lower quadrant here, referred the midnight open price. So looks like it is going to run for these highs and the 4 hour premium wicks consequent encroachment. But if not, then we will be stopped out here with 350 as a loss. Yes, sir. Thank you. What do you guys think about this long? Is it going to work out? So we are 3 minutes in macro, expecting run higher before 9, and around 9 a.m. then we can expect, this pulling lower towards the regular trading hour closing price to trade into some discount levels. PS is back in that CB again and referring the midnight open range. A consequent encroachment seems to be breaking lower. I do not really like this reaction on ES. Wants me to, close this, but going to stick with it until now. I want NQ to hold the midnight open range consequent encroachment bullishly, and I want ES to close inside that CB at least. Yep, inside. Yep, closes inside. Let's see how it trades now. Referring the midnight open price. I think it is going to refer the midnight open price on NQ as well, but the consequent encroachment of the midnight open range 0.5 level should be held bullishly. All right, brother. I'll look into it. I've not really used Discord much, even as a user. So don't really know much about that, but we'll look into it for sure. So ES seems to be breaking down, and if it does so, then we might be running lower just from here. Um, let's see. Let's see. I do that over Twitter mostly. X, sorry. So if you can join me there, but I'll surely look into Discord and how we can use it better as a community. Right now, the goal is to at least have, 50 to 60 traders with me at least. I'm not doing any paid thing or planning to do any paid thing. It's just to build up a positive and encouraging community, just so that we can learn this better from each other's experiences. So I really want NQ to hold this and consequent encroachment here bullishly. It's a range. I shouldn't be calling it consequent encroachment because consequent encroachment is usually used for the midpoint of the gaps. So 0.5 of the open range. I'm sorry, ICT, if I'm ever lucky enough that you see my video. So seems to be finding strength here. I want ES to close bullishly above the consequent encroachment. It might be only to run and fill this volume imbalance as well. I want this to close above this volume imbalance and then use 0.5 to continue running higher. If it does not, then this means that this NQ pushing higher was only to allow ES to fill this volume imbalance, which it does look like. And I don't really like this reaction, but I'm still going to stick with it. We are 3 minutes away from 9 a.m. open. That is when I expected this to drop lower, which it is, but did not really run for the 4-hour inefficiency. Premium wicks consequent encroachment, couldn't even trade to the 0.75 level of that wick up till now. Thanks, man. Thanks for following. All right, now it looks strong. Don't really like the close. Always wait for how 1 minute is closing. Now I have this weakness as well. Like I won't really wait for the over close and just enter, and then it will just wick and close it just against me. Seems to be good. Two minutes away from 9 a.m. So very much as per our narrative right now. Expected it to run higher around 9 a.m. Run that as a manipulation, hit the consequent encroachment, and then continue running lower. About to take these equal highs. Can find some sort of resistance around this level after hitting the 0.75. I'm still not comfortable in moving my stop to this because this looks really one-sided to me. Otherwise, I would have moved my stop here. Alright, the body closed above the midnight open range high and touched the low of 4-hour premium wick on ES while it has traded above of that on NQ. So next minute is 9 a.m. open, and then we will be 30 minutes away from market open. Let's see what we get here. ES is back using consequent encroachment now, and that volume imbalance should use it bullishly. Nine o'clock, expecting a continuation higher here. If it drops here and consolidates inside the midnight open range throughout 9:10 and doesn't drop and stop me out, it can do this run that we are expecting around 9:20 and then start running lower. But a run lower is the main setup. ES seems to be breaking lower, but as it is 9 o'clock open candle, this can be just to provide discount for longs. So that is why I'm still sticking with it, and that is why I wasn't really comfortable in moving my stop here up till now. But it really needs to hold now, because if it continues lower, then it is very much probable that it is going for the uh, regular trading hour closing price and going for the discounts. This is the 8:30 news high, which has not been taken on NQ yet, and not even on ES. So I'm still expecting a run higher from here because the lows have been taken. Let's see. But the 4-hour candle, we have got this whole busy. That should be worked in to fill in all of those inefficiencies. We have got this fair value gap. If it doesn't really invert this or hold it at least, Then we can see lower prices, I believe. Referring midnight open price, referred the low on ES. Don't really like this. Volume imbalance. So we need to incorporate the wick as well inside the fair value gap. All right, doesn't look good. I will be closing this just here. We're going to wait for the close and next candle's reaction as well. We've got this little inefficiency as a BC on NQ, nothing like that on ES. Let's see if it wants to hold this or not. It is still respecting the midpoint of the midnight open range and seems to have slowed down. So looks like it is going to consolidate in this range around 920 and then do the run that I'm expecting it to do. Let's see. I can be wrong here. That is why we always use our stop. Closes inside that fair value gap. I really like that. And shows some strength on ES as well, but should really hold this. All right, finds strength. That is good. Currently working the midpoint of opening range. Should not use it as a premium array. All right, NQ close. I really do not love this one, but let's see. Don't really like the close and the next candle on yes. Still respecting SIBI as a PD array. Might be only to drop it until here. Retest the 0.25 of midnight open range, but ES seems to be breaking lower, so I don't really like that. But because the news highs have not yet been taken, I'm still expecting the run higher before they drop it lower. So still going to stick with it. Um, I am expecting in the worst case scenario, the bounce should be from 0.25. If it comes to the low of the midnight open range, it it is highly probable that it will stop me out. We are 24 minutes away from market open. ES seems to be breaking lower, but that can be SMT in play as well. And NQ has retested that BC that we just marked out on 1 minute. but closed above the midnight open range, so that is really nice. Got this volume imbalance, which might be the reason it is pushing the prices higher initially. I wanted to close above this now. ES seems to be breaking lower and NQ seems to be following. I'm still going to stick with it. We are in last 3 minutes of macro, so can expect the drop as well. All right, closes strongly, closes above the volume imbalance that I marked out just a few seconds ago. That is what I wanted to see. That's nice. Closes above the midpoint of this inefficiency. Looks like it is going to continue higher here. We got volume imbalance on ES, which might bring prices lower on NQ and ES both. Yeah, for this minute. So referred the 0.5 level of the open range from midnight really well here. I really like the bodies closing above, dipping inside this busy, incorporating and referring this volume imbalance to do this one. Because ES did this, now it needs to fill before doing that, continuing the run higher. So it's okay to come back around my entry, but should really hold bullish above this volume imbalance at midnight open price. All right, I do not really like this reaction. We are in last minute of the macro now, and it seems to be trading lower. If NQ follows ES, still respected the close here, but if it drops lower, we can expect a stop out here. But still going to stick with it. Sticking with your bias is really important, and also giving your trades some reasonable room until you are proven wrong is very important as well. If it holds this around 9:15 and 9:17, then we are in high probable scenarios where it can continue to the higher side before dropping lower. But if it wants to drop lower, I think the time is now. So let's see. Time is really important. So always time then price. So always refer the time. Always. So I do not really like the close on NQ. It closed below the 0.5 level of the midnight open range. But still going to stick here. NQ got this 1 minute CB. ES as well, along with the volume imbalance. Going to be patient here. Looks like it's going to drop lower, but going to stick with my stop. I've explained all my narrative here. So even if it goes lower, I knew about it, my risk is managed, and I'm still going to stick with it because it has not taken the news highs yet, and I think it needs to do some more damage to the higher side before trading lower because we are in extreme premium. It will knock out all these shorts first at the open or around open before dropping lower to the regular trading hour closing price. So that is how I'm looking at the market. I'm still going to stick with it. These are four evaluations with my funded futures. I'm targeting 1500 on three accounts and I'm targeting 3000 on the other account because I stuffed up yesterday. Didn't really know they have got their consistency rule of 50% on the core programs. Was trading with the same uh, knowledge about the consistency that they used to have with their starter program. We are 15 minutes away from market open after this close. And because it held around 915 range, I am expecting it to run higher now between 920s to 930. So yeah, going to stay patient here. If you're liking this stream, if you can drop a like, that will be really encouraging for me as a new creator. And if you trade NASDAQ or trade ICT concepts, I'm here every day live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when there is a news driver, and usually at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every trading day. If it's dropped lower to the lower quadrant or closes below the lower quadrant on NQ, then it is really highly probable that we are going to get stopped out here. Going to still stick with it. And on a day before NFP, you can expect getting stopped out and things like that. And that is why you should not be trading those days with a high leverage or anything like that. I haven't done so. My risk is managed here, and well, this closing lower is not really good, but I expect it to still do the run because the news low has been taken, traded into this inefficiency, use this breaker properly, and yeah, so that is how I'm seeing it. Although we are in extreme premiums, but I still expect it to trade to the consequent encroachment or at least to 0.75, taking the news highs at least. All right, trades in that again and then starts running lower. Looks like we are going to get stopped out here. Closes above, that's good. But let's see if it wants to hold or not. Alright, got stopped out for $332. ES takes the low here. I did not want to use this low as my stop as that would have been too much. I think it is going for the discounts now rather than the high, but we can still expect these highs to be swept at open if it still holds this range. So I bought it here after this consequent, not consequent, 0.5 level of the midnight open range was respected, expecting it to continue higher before running lower. I explained everything why both of the narratives could be in play. So yeah, still it respected the close and the low of the midnight open range while it took the low on ES, this low. So that can be SMT in play as well. Doesn't really look like. Going to close my executions here. ES is in that 4-hour inefficiency that we have marked out and seems to be dropping lower. NQ is still holding in this range, so that is why I'm not willing to go short until now. But if it inverts this fair value gap using the 4-hour inefficiency high just like ES has used here, then I will go short. I'm going to stay patient here. No need to rush to make this loss back. ES is trading above that 4-hour inefficiency, maybe filling in this CB on 1 minute. This can be a possible bullish SMT as well. Traded lower, took this low. 712. But NQ seems to be catching up now, while ES is finding strength. So let's see what's going on here. We are 8 minutes away from market open. I've only taken one trade. I was long here, expecting it to continue to the 4-hour premium wick 0.75 or 0.5. Consequent encroachment of the 4-hour premium wick. All right, NQ seems to be catching up. This looks an interesting shot if this fair value gap is inverted bearishly. Remember that it can be possible bullish SMT in play as well if you know ES keeps running higher and NQ catches up. This is why it is really important to read the economic calendar before you are engaging with any market, so that you know when to stay risk off and when to be participating, when to expect higher resistance liquidity runs and when to expect lower resistance liquidity runs. It all connects. All right, dropping inside that fair value gap now. We are 5 minutes away from open. If it inverts this bearishly, I'll use this stop and go short. Still waiting. Hits the new week opening gap high and reacts bullishly. Can be using this as a breaker. I'll be right back in a sec. ES respects this SIBI. Small little inefficiency. NQ, sorry. I keep making this mistake. I apologize about this. I'm going short here, using this as my stop. And I'll only target the 0.25 of the 4-hour wick. Nothing fancy. Let's see. Going to stick through the open. I'm risking 14, so $280 or $300. Still the risk is managed. Let's see. Expecting a nosedive now. Seems to be a good entry inside that fair value gap. Should continue below this low as well. Don't want it to find any strength and continue going lower and lower. We are in extreme premiums. This is the higher time frame. We have got huge inefficiency. Should at least trade to this 2360 10 levels or 20 levels. Looking good here. Two minutes away from market open. Don't want it to dip back inside after taking this low. I expect it to continue. Going to move ES to 3 minutes to see a larger range what's going on. It's touching the new week opening gap high and also the high around of Asian range. NQ seems to be continuing lower. That's nice. Want this to keep dropping. All right, market opens. Uh, 23,667.75. That is it. Change it to opening range gap. It is above the consequent encroachment, so I'm continuing it to give me my first partial immediately. All right, we've got this and 431.75, 431.75. All right, booked. That's good. Really nice. Let's see what we have got now. So, yeah, should be nosedive, man. Should at least fill the opening range gap fully. We'll take another off here. Going to move it to electronic trading hours. This is already electronic. So, yep. Opening range gap is here. Filled. Just left with one contract now. Already up 100 points. Really good trade. Really nice trade. And even the long was good, but it didn't want to trade into that. So, no worries. Consequent encroachment of 0.5 is here at 654. But I'm expecting it to drop much lower. Retests and bounces. Hasn't filled opening range gap on ES yet. Alrighto, if this continues lower, we might be having our first presented fair value gap. This should be moved to 1 minute. No chance of first presented fair value gap on ES yet. Refers the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour inefficiency to the tick and now bouncing off can be going to refer the opening range gap 0.5. I'm going to move my stop break even here, which is above the opening range gap high, so should be fine. Really good trade. Made back previous loss and currently have booked around 700 with this, just running with one contract right now. ES refers the 0.5 level of the opening range gap, did not even trade to 0.75. Use the first presented fair value gap from Tuesday of this week to do this run higher. Let's see if it wants to continue or just referring the 0.25 of the new week opening gap or 0.25 of the 4-hour inefficiency has referred the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour inefficiency on both now. So if they want to run higher, we had our first presented fair value gap here, which has been traded into on NQ. Let's see what we have got here. Are they going to run it higher from here? Today is Friday, so this is Fridays. Referred the consequent encroachment of the gap and closed lower the new day opening gap of today. So this is the new day opening gap from today, 31st of July. We might be getting our first presented fair value gap on ES as a BISI, which I'm expecting to be inverted bearishly and continue going lower. Let's see how the 4-hour looks now. Okay, has filled that volume imbalance, but still got this volume imbalance. Might trade into this inversion fair value gap as well. Got a huge wick. All right, looks good to continue. Up 100 points. First presented fair value gap on ES as well. Should use it bearishly. Not going to add here, although I can, but I think it is going to keep running and at least give me the 1500 that I am targeting just within this. Throughout the morning range, I am expecting a dip lower, like keep running lower, and then around 10:30 it will create equal highs and then start running for those. So this is only for ES to run into that inefficiency, first present a fair value gap and use it as a bearish inversion. Nothing to worry about here, and even if it stops me out, I've got nothing to worry about. I've made enough on a day like this, just below NFP, just before NFP. I'm making 100 points just right in front of you, and the market just has opened. So not being overconfident or anything here, but I'm in plus plus here. No need to worry about. Just giving this as a realization to myself only. Alright, ES closes nicely below that, so should continue lower. Up 120 points. it's extremely important to keep focusing on trading well and focusing on your model rather than, trying to pass the accounts and trying to play around with the policies of prop firms and try to make it in the minimum days possible and all of that. It has costed me a lot this week, especially on Monday. I went really reckless and it has affected me, my business, my health, and mental health. So, yeah, those are the most important things that a beginner goes through with much more, how can I say, challenges and with very less resources to counteract. So please be aware that this is really risky. Do your own research. Never put in your money until you are ready. Do practice uh, on backtesting. Just buy TradeZella and keep studying, journaling, and all of that. That should be enough to grow you as a good trader. And keep practicing on yourself, being a better human, and keep uh, working on self-development because those things are really important in trading. If you are not disciplined in your personal life, the way you do one thing is the way you do most of the things or all of the things, I would say. And this really resonates with me. I'm not really consistent or disciplined in any of my things in personal life, and that is why it has taken me more than 4 years to be consistent here. But I'm not going to quit it, and only going to learn and keep getting better. And I'm doing this live in front of you. If you guys are interested in joining this journey with me, I go live here. I'm going to be doing it around 8:30. Moving on, I used to be live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but moving on, I'll try to be at 8:30 a.m., especially on the days where we have got news driver at 8:30, so that we can, participate in runs like these. Although today is before NFP, so we shouldn't be leveraging high, which I did not do here. Everything was managed. I took a loss initially as a long, and I explained everything initially in the stream why I was looking at it. But I was bearish for the whole scenario because we were there when we were. I was. I took the long. I expected it to continue until the consequent encroachment or 0.75 or at least news high, which was this, but it never did and dropped lower, which was highly probable. All right, so ES trade are much lower, and NQ is still holding this range around 4 hour inefficiencies, consequent encroachment. So this seems to be interesting. Let's see what we get here. If you guys can keep it interactive in the chat, that will be really encouraging for me, and it will be really good to know people who are trading these things. If you trade NASDAQ or ICT concepts, I'm live here every day. Do give a subscribe or like on this stream and get connected. We are building up a new ICT community, which is mainly focused on learning and getting better here. So ES has closed the opening range gap and now it is trading higher. This can be an SMT. ES made lower lows while NQ held this range, but I'm still going to hold it until it has traded here and not going to change my bias too long. At least for the morning session, I am expecting it to continue lower until 10:30, then create higher highs, which would be swept around lunch hour, like 10:50 to 11:10, or maybe 11:50 to 12:10. I did not enter with one contract, so I'm going to open my executions here. I entered here with 10 contracts after being stopped out here as a long, which I just explained. I entered inside this 1 minute BC, which I expected to be inverted, and then use the high of the 4 hour inefficiency as well Took 8 off at the new day opening gap high and also the 0.5 of the opening range gap, and then took one off at the fulfill of the gap, and now I'm riding just one contract. Let's see if it is going to give me 1500 daily profit limit on my three evaluations that I'm targeting here with my funded futures. Alright, trades inside the first presented fair value gap of Tuesday of this week on NQ, and it catches up. ES has still not made a lower low, but looks like it is going to continue at least to the new day opening gap low. Below that, it has got some first presented fair value gap. Let's look from Monday, which can be held bullishly. Let's see. So currently up 135 points. Let's look at how 4 hour looks. So now trading in this premium wick and also in this premium wick. I am expecting it to continue much lower, especially on ES, because we have got this discount wick which needs to be referred, I think, at least to the 0.25 level. Got a really good short from here with 10 contracts, 9 are already off. Now just riding with one runner. ES seems to be finding strength before even trading to the new day opening gap low. Use the 0.75 or 4 hour inefficiency to, if you can see, and 0.75 of new week opening gap, but I think it should still continue lower. Let's see. All right, that's nice. Closes the new week opening gap low on ES. We will be approaching macro in 4 minutes, 9:50 to 10:10. That will be the first macro of the day for New York session. I am expecting it to keep running lower. How are you guys looking at the market, and what do you guys think? What's the draw on liquidity is for this morning session? I'm expecting it to at least trade into this or into this discount wick on both. Completely wrecking the retail. Alright, use the first presented fair value gap from Tuesday bearishly, while has wicked the Monday on ES. Closes nicely. Thank you. ES seems to be finding some strength. Let's see what might be going on ES. Let's look at 1 hour. Alright, about to close this. 6426. 2 hours. Got this inversion. Alright. Okay, let's see. Still going to stick with it. I'm going to stay patient here. Has traded below this 4 hour inefficiency. did not make to the lower quadrant, has taken the new day opening gap low, has made lower lows for the day, which was highly expected. On ES as well, it has not closed the new day opening gap low yet from today. Why have I written 1st August here? Sorry about that. And I haven't even graded this. Sorry about that. And I'll grade it as well. Alright, VIX inside the first presented fair value gap from today. On ES, let's see what it has done on NQ. We are approaching macro. Next minute is macro, 3 seconds. Yep, we are in macro, 950. Hey Rashik, how we doing? Yes, your friend did. Thank you for letting him know about the channel. So bro, I came in live around 8:30. Wasn't really interested in taking in trades initially, but then ended up taking into a long. I'll open up the executions. Here, I took the long here, expected it to continue to the 4-hour premium VIX consequent encroachment and also take this news high, which it did not, continued lower. I also expected the continuation lower because we were in extreme premium, as you would know. Then I waited for this to trade inside this fair value gap and give me some confluence with ES that it is using as bearish inversion, so I tagged in short. That was 4 minutes away from market open, so I was expecting a nosedive at the market open, which was delivered. Took 8 off, so I went in with 10. 8 off at a consequent encroachment of the opening range gap, and then took 1 off at the total fill of the gap, and currently riding 1 because I expect it to continue lower, although ES seems to be bullish from here, because on the higher time frame, if you see all of this, uh, I was expecting it to retrace into this range. Hope that made some sense. So as it is a day before NFP, going to be really patient, not really going to be leveraging, just preparing myself for tomorrow, for next week, as next week we can expect some more smoother and nicer price action. But I will be going live especially on the days where we have 8:30 a.m. news driver, around 8:30 a.m., so that we can participate in runs like these. So yep, that is the new update. Alrighto. What am I targeting for? Bro, whatever I was targeting for short has already been delivered, to be honest. But I think it is still going to stay in this range. Let's see. Um, if you are looking for longs, I think midnight open range high can be a good target, or that 4-hour premium wick that I had marked up. Currently, it is trading around the new day opening gaps, consequent encroachment, and first presented fair value gap from today. Yeah, that can be a good Yeah, that can be good because ES has already inverted the first presented fair value gap. If you see this, look if how it reacts on new week opening gap high and also at the high of this opening range gap. And then look for your bias, I would say, because it will return in this range again, I believe. Got this breaker as well, this breaker, but not going to influence your bias, just letting you know. Just because I'm positioned well here, I don't want to change my bias decision because I can still ride it up till there. I don't really have any issues with it. I was riding with a $330 loss, which I have made and have realized $700 on this trade. So won't really bother if it stops me out there, although I'll be missing on this long as well. But no worries, I'm not really targeting to hit my daily, you know, profit target on this evaluation. Oh, just by the way, so what happened? I saw your message on Twitter. On my core account, I had no idea that on core they have got the consistency rule. So I kept on pushing on whatever core I was buying for the last 2 weeks to pass it in 1 week, in a day, sorry. And that is how I go with the evaluations which offer, 1 week passing. Ended up knowing that it is actually 50% consistency this time. So I made around 3,000 yesterday, and that is when I got to know about it. So we'll be targeting 6,000 now on the first account, but I bought another three accounts, which I'm targeting 1,500 for today. So yeah, currently realized 700, but let's see. To be honest, if it holds bullishly, I might go long here. Um, Using this and the fact that ES has already traded higher after filling in all this gap, not going to hold it, but let's see. We have also got a opening range gap here, so not really wait for this to be inverted to buy here. I'll wait to see how it reacts around the 0.5 of the opening range gap, because it is highly probable to retrace back and then continue lower as well. Just going to stick with it. Looks like silver bullet. Yeah, not really 3K, bro. I need to make around 3.2 or 3.17. Yeah. Although I may like put the daily profit trigger on it at $3,010, but still I don't know why it ended up giving me 3,170. Although I did not market execute or anything like that. I just left it on it to, stop me out. Well, no worries. I'm still going to, keep building it and just going to focus on good setup and good trading rather than doing this. So ES has shown real strength here, but still going to wait. Still going to wait. Can be to take this high, but looks really bullish to be honest. But left this inefficiency around the first presented fair value gap, especially didn't really tag this SIBI as well, so might retrace back after pushing this to 0.5. Let's see. Yeah, man, it really, mentally stuffed me. And I think like when I was journaling after the Monday's wreck, what I did on Monday. I think that actually played some sort of role in me going emotional after that. So just going to be really honest, because this is something that I haven't been through in a whole journey of my trading. I've been trading for the past 4 years, but never got this external pressure. So that was actually good learning, and to be honest, it's really beneficial to have people around you because it makes you, uh, competitive at the same end, but also accountable for your actions. Because at the end of the day, you should be the one in absolute control, and no one can change it, and no one should be able to change that. That should be the beauty of trading and your business. So yeah, that was some experience for me. Today happens like that day. Yeah, bro, as I've told you, like, you do not have to be sorry or ask anyone before you eat. Do your analysis, look for it, whatever you are looking for, and never let anyone influence that for you. You see? Um, Even I told you that I can, switch it to long hair, but to be honest, this seems to be little unsustainable. I would like ES to return back into this range, show some strength around the zero point 0.5 of the opening range, and then see what it does here. Because I think it is only pushing higher to take this liquidity and to make ES retrace back to the zero point 0.5 level. That is my bias, but do your bias, do your research. Yes, NQ has also got this inefficiency, which you can maybe use to buy, but do your own thing, bro. At the end of the day, you should be the one in control, and do remember that it's a day before NFP, so be cautious, do not leverage high, and it's just another day. Although it was a really obvious sell, to be honest, Rashik. Like when I studied the charts afterwards. Okay, so we have got 10 o'clock open. It's somehow in the middle of the range on NQ, while on ES it has taken the highs and currently retesting new week opening gap high. I will be looking at ES once it has traded inside the first presented fair value gap from today, that how it reacts. NQ is currently trading here. So, yeah, let's see. I will not go bullish until ES has shown some strength above the zero point 0.5 of the opening range gap. I went long, I went short, sorry, before the market opened, with 10 contracts, have already booked 9 contracts here. Currently realized $700 on these evaluations with my funded futures for the session. And yeah, holding this one until we are proven bullish above the zero point 0.5 of the opening range gap. 858, 858. 858. Okay, yeah, those are equal highs. Really tempting. And rather than 858, I would say 8:30 a.m. because that was a news driver. It hasn't been taken. And then we have also got this 4-hour, premium wick here as well. Got this SIBI that might be getting inverted on 4-hour. If you see this. What the? Why did I open text? So if you see that, but on NQ, it's here, right? No, no, that is it. And where is this one? All right, okay. Ooh, SMT. So I'm still bearish, brother. Like, if you ask me, I don't really think that, but yeah, won't, affect your analysis here. So currently trading in this SIBI, 1 minute SIBI. Let's see, I think it is going to invert it bullishly until zero point 0.5 at least. Yes, we'll take the buy side from the opening range gap. Opening range from the morning. Sorry. In ES, okay. So do you trade both? Do you sometimes trade ES when it is like really respecting the PD areas? Yes, around, yeah, that is really much in targets. We are in macro, 7 minutes of macro. Yes. left. All right. Closes bullishly on NQ, just like I was expecting it to. I can only trade NQ. ES has huge spreads and fibers prop from. Okay. And I would say just stick with one market is for execution, bro. It really, sorts out much of the complexity. And when you are seeing ES and NQ, NQ would be the most obvious one to go for. But depending on your personality, if someone doesn't really, look for much movement or speedy movements, they might prefer ES. So, yep. Oh, when to consider 9:30 a.m. candle as first presented fair value gap, bro. ICT has done a video on this in 2024 mentorship. I'll see and drop in a link, but I'll tell you what I know because that video really resonated with me. And I think I got it well. So, for example, I'll show you from here. For example, this whole range, I'll change the color to yellow. Okay, this whole range, we are expecting this prior, oh, prior to 9:30 a.m. open. Okay, we had all this buy side already engineered before 9:30 a.m. open, for example. And what market like 9:30 a.m. candle does, like take this 9:30 a.m. candle is does this, okay? Takes this buy side, takes the buy side at open, okay? Like first candle and it took the buy side. And then it gave a fair value gap using the 829, 830, and I'm sorry, 929, 930, and 931's candle. So the 930, the open candle would be your second candle for that. Okay. And that will be your first presented fair value gap. So basically, if it has taken a key liquidity and then you do not see any, and the key point is that there are no more any highs prior to this. Okay, this would be the last high even on regular trading hours and electronic trading hours. And then if it drops, then you can use that as 9:30 a.m. candle. But do give ICT's video a look. I'll look for it and drop it inside here. Because as I told you, bro, like we can only be doing injustice to this technical science. Just learn from him. And why would you not, you know, learn from the person himself? Mm, okay, 25. Yep, there you go. May 18th, 2025's live stream. Here you go, sir. Hey, Thivraj. We missed you for a while. Thank you that you are back. So we have got this first fair value gap that can be used as a silver bullet on, yes, and similar one on NQ as well. Silver bullet seems to be trading higher, but I will only change my bias to long once it has shown me some sort of strength above the opening range gap's consequent encroachment. Until then, I'm just going to ride this one contract and not even going to add more shorts. So, yeah, just building in the patience and everything. Oh, thank you. So, was I able to, make any sense there? I slept well after 4 days, man. It felt so good. So good. Highly needed it. So trading back inside that fair value gap, can use it to run it until here, at least. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. If you guys are learning anything and give it a like, that will be really helpful. And the people who are watching and have not subscribed but trade NASDAQ and ICT, I'm live here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every trading day. But moving on every news impact day at 8:30 a.m. we will be going live around 8:30 a.m. and trying to participate in runs like these. So it will be good to know you as a trader in this community. So please allow yourself. All right, closed bullishly on both. Did wick through, but still managed to close inside. I do use order block, but really, bro, like that PD array has never really resonated with me that well. I most of the time get stopped out, but that doesn't mean that like those are not really working. I'm the one who cannot really understand them well. But inefficiencies and fair value gap is something that really resonates with me. Where I stuff up with myself is that, for example, if I expected this to be a bearish inversion, I would have sold in on this candle, and this, because closed bullishly, would really stress me out. So I would not really wait for it to be inverted completely to go in, because that is in my personality. I'm really impulsive, and that is what will cause a problem, and that is me causing a problem as an operator. These strategies still work. So now I want to see ES how it reacts in the first presented fair value gap. This was really not sustainable, as I told you. Didn't really look like it is going to continue, especially after a run like this. So now if it holds this, because on ES it has retested the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour inefficiency and also this breaker. So then we can see some sustainable run higher. So always wait for how the candle is closing. This is one of my weaknesses. We have got this CB and this can be retouched as well on ES. It can be retouched as well because we have got this volume imbalance and also new week opening gap high, which can be used as a magnet to bring the prices closer. Let's see if it wants to use it as bullish inversion this time or premium array. It's really getting fun to know you people and do this. I really like doing this, trust me, because whoever is trading for for a little time must know how lonely and you know uh, how can I say, you get into yourself too much, and when you have other people around you chasing the same goals, it gets much easier, and then you think more, how can I say it, effectively, I would say, not doing stupid mistakes. But it all depends upon what type of a person you are. Sometimes it may get on your nerves and you would want to prove those people and do stupid mistakes, just like what I did on Monday. Not to prove you, but just to prove myself that how could I go wrong there. But I broke my rules. So always consider a good day only when you have followed your rules, not when you have made money or lost money. If you have followed your rule, the monetary aspect doesn't really matter because it will be profitable in you know over the cost of 100 trades or 150 trades. So just keep following the process. Survival is the key in industries like this. So it retested this and zero point 0.5 of the new day opening gap as well, closing nicely. If it still continues to close lower, that should be seen as a bearish signature, I believe. Currently trying to retest the new week opening gap high and also opening range gap high. Has closed the whole gap and did this run on ES. NQ is still holding below the gap and 0.75 couldn't even trade to zero point 0.5 of the opening range gap. Yeah, that's true, bro. I know. I'm just explaining like what I'm going through, and I think it's really important to know what other traders are going through so that because all of us are in these phases where other traders have been at one time or the other. So it's really beneficial for each of us to know how one can counter those things, and that it's all natural to go through all those thought processes and second guessing your system and all of that. But and what it requires is consistent effort and sticking with the doing the right things. So yeah, and please keep sharing because I really love it, and yeah, that is how we grow here. So seems to be finding some strength, to be honest, on NQ. Let's see. I think after this initial run, because it has started around 9, it stopped, engineered these highs, and might go for these highs now as around 10:30, maybe after trading into this inefficiency as well. Let's see. I'm still going to stick with my this contract, not going to add any more shorts and not going to change my bias to long until it has shown me any strength above the consequent encroachment of the opening range gap. How to know it's a continuation day or reversal day after open swing? Nice question, brother. But to be honest, I rely on how the market is performing. Usually, what it does is complete this run by 10 a.m. You see, 9:46. So even before the macro, this run was completed because it actually started in the later half of the 8:50 to 9:10 macro. So it ran lower straight for an hour and then it stopped. It engineered these highs, retraced into the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour inefficiency. So now I am expecting it to take this high and then I'll wait to see if it wants to hold this run and continue to these highs, or does it wanna take these highs and continue lower in lunch macro. If that made any sense. Not really pointed out your question properly, but to be honest, there is no holy grail to do that. I think everyone does the same, see how the market is reacting. So there are very specific times where market does specific things, as you know. So these highs that it has engineered right now, you know, can be the possible liquidity for 10:50 to 11:10 macro, or you never know, you know. These are just if based scenarios, and yeah, keep building in those reps, and then you somehow build up an understanding after being exposed to these scenarios daily, that yeah, today it seems to be like that day, today it seems to be like that day. And then you need to figure out when do you want to place yourself in it, or do you want to place yourself in it with proper risk management. Like, that is why I do not want to close this position, because I'm placed perfectly here, perfectly. So why would I ruin my situation that can really affect my profitability here, when I can, continue riding this for the rest of the stream, you know. All right, so guys, thanks for being here, brother, and take care, stay safe, good trading. Have a nice weekend, brother. All right, now it seems to be continuing lower. Didn't even take that 0.5, but can hold up this as well. Hope the quality and everything seems to be okay. If not, just let me know. That will be helpful. And I'll try to make up to it tomorrow. The latency should be good as well. I think it should be under 10 seconds. And I am not really promoting copy trading here or anything like that. So please avoid doing that. None of this is supposed to be copied until you know what you are doing with your money. So yeah. Ashik, you are actually really lucky to have someone, within your community who is trading with you. Because trust me, like I've tried influencing people like my friends and everyone to start doing this with me. But no one has really stuck with me for long. It really helps you, gives you a much better and professional point of view to look at things. Do you have more people with you, or is it just one friend that you guys, do it together? And actually, not having anyone is what has encouraged me to do this channel. So currently, I think the run to take those highs can still be in play. I am not fully convinced that it is going to continue lower from here, but I'm not willing to change my position here. That's nice, brother. Yeah, let them know to take their own time and do not rush this process. It's really nice to have someone like that. Are you into sports or anything? Do you watch cricket? I love cricket, man. Used to be a really good player. Uh, but yeah, never mind. That is something in past, I believe. But I will be continuing it next year after literally a break of, I don't know, like 3 to 4 years. Yeah, we have got really nice cricket here, in Australia. I live in Darwin. Uh, you might have not heard about it because it's a regional city, um, in Northern Territory. So it's really different from the most of Australia, but it is what it is. I came here as a student 3 years ago. So we have got really good club cricket here. I also visited this city in 2014 and played cricket here. So it's really nice to be back somewhere where you have been before after 8 to 10 years in a totally different situation or phase of life. ES is back in the first presented fair value gap now and seems to be using it as a bearish inversion after did not really take the opening range high, got these equal highs here, and this somewhat should be an inefficiency in 5 minutes. Let's see. Yep, can trade into that as a lunch hour macro and then continue running lower to trap retail and yeah, use this fair value gap really well to run prices lower. Did you go into position or took any position, Rashid? Or are you just waiting? Just like I told you to wait, maybe? Not really telling you what to do, but I want the best of you. No, I'm very sorry. Inside first present if you will you have an end up. All right. Yeah, you need to have your own rules for market to do something in order to change your bias or anything like that. Like for me to go long or turn long, it should have shown me some proper strength after taking these highs. Okay. And even after taking these highs, even that can be used as a resistance. All right. Or maybe even after stopping me out, trade into this inefficiency, take the New York morning range high, and then continue lower. So everything can be in play here. It's all about how you read the market and decide yourself, and that what do you want market to do, something specific that will change your bias. So currently this closing into the first presented fair value gap that beautifully, and also the fact that this is the fair value gap from this morning session, this seems to be really bullish if it holds this. Also doing the same thing in ES, opening around consequent encroachment of the opening range gap, and also 4 hour inefficiencies consequent encroachment. All right, that's good that that was a break-even trade. Never get yourself discouraged with a break-even trade, brother. You see, this reacting like this is really nice, you know. And to be honest, this looks really bullish for me from here, at least till these highs. That is 50 points from here, from where we are trading right now. So, do I really wanna, go long here? Is a question now for me. Let's see. I'm going to wait. We are going to wait, not wait. We are 1 minute away from 10:30 open. Let's see. NQ ES actually traded to 0.25 of the new week opening gap and closed inside today's first presented fair value gap. ES can be using all of this as a breaker as well. So breaker and order blocks are something that I really need to study more and get proper understanding of both of those PD arrays, and I think that will really enhance my trading. But taking it step by step, slowly and gradually, getting better. I'm going to move my drawings for a while. It really eases off my eye. Oh man. You can thank me later for this. Ah, it has really affected my eyesight since I since the last year. So these equal highs really look tempting. Got this inefficiency as well from the open. 15-minute traded below this. All right, let's see. Need to be patient here with this bias only. Let's look 1 hour. All right. Currently in this can be a breaker and lower to these lows. Okay. 23,589. Bounced off from the first presented fair value gap from Tuesday. Used this bearishly really nicely. New week, new day opening gaps, consequent encroachment, traded below that. Currently trading below new day opening gap low, but still inside the equilibrium of the morning range on ES. Looks bullish. 10:30 is in. Seems like they are going to run for these highs now. I might go long here, but just going to wait until it trades into this inefficiency and shows me some strength. And then I'll be using my stop as this low. That will be 660, 663 and 633. So 30 points. That will be $300 risk on 5 contracts. Let's see. But ES should really hold this for that. Yes, looks weak. I'm really proud of myself for being really patient and just doing two execution. And we have been live since more than 2 hours. This is really not me. This is me, working on my habits and making it more profitable for me in every way possible. You need to give yourself encouragement, even in your journals and everything. Stop the negative talk. Whenever you see how long you have come in this journey, it's always surprising. We as traders never encourage how long we have come and how better we understand the pricing and all of this business thing. So do talk good to yourself, keep encouraging yourself, and getting better. Keep getting better. This is me talking to you after blowing up all my profits from last week on the very first week of this week. So I know how it feels being there. That is why I'm telling you to, stop being too hard on yourself and keep building in those good habits, good reps, and it will start paying off in some time. Thanks, man. So currently 150 points up. Right, uses this SIBI nicely to keep running lower, closes nicely. We are 13 minutes away from macro. Makes a lower low, takes the opening range low on NQ. We have been in market maker sell model since London 347. So London does very specific movement around 3 till 350 macro. There is some sort of reversal most of the time, which I really need to work on, but I am not really getting, you know, proper time to work on it yet. But that is something as a model that you can look for. It usually does this 3 to 4 times in a week. And if not this, then usually that this sort of run is usually around 2 at the open, just at the open. Like for example, if it would have just retraced from here, continued higher, retraced just before London, took the buy side at the London Open, and boom, it was just to take and drop into this new day opening gap. But really need to study those timings and time profiles properly. I always end up being there at the wrong time and in the wrong direction. So really need to work on this. So after taking this sell side from the open, NQ seems to be finding some strength while ES is bouncing off from the new day opening gap high from today. And the low of the new day opening gap is here, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Nope. I really need to grade that because it's a big one. I think I did. Yep, it's here. So new day opening gap high is low. I don't think it's marked correctly. Let me check. Yep. Yep. Got it right now. So hi. Let's see if it wants to buy like run higher from here. NQ is trading inside the first presented fair value gap from Tuesday, just like ES is. So if it wants to reverse, I would want it to hold this bullishly, like invert this fair value gap. This is the one that I'm talking about. Close above this. Also show me some proper strength above the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour inefficiency after taking these highs. And then I might enter inside this using some sort of PD array here as my stop and target these highs as my lowest hanging fruit, if that made any sense. If I was able to make any sense there, I apologize. So you see it trades from the 0.75 of the opening range gap. Trying to show some strength, but failing at the close of the candles. So that is one thing that you can incorporate in your study, which is look how the last 15-second candle is closing in that minute. Like if you see the last 15-second here would be bearish, last 15-second here, last 15-second here. So if it wants to create bearish candles, it will run initially for first 30 seconds or max 45 seconds and then boom for the last 15 seconds. If that made any sense. Is it okay to look for why if ES didn't take that sell side liquidity that NQ took? Yes, that will be a bullish SMT divergence, right? Because if yeah, that will actually confirm that and should be used as a confirmation, like one of a confluence for your reversal techniques, it might not always be there, and never jump in straight after seeing that. You see, if people would have gone long, and I used to be those people, and sometime I do these type of mistakes again and again on live stream in front of you, that I would buy this although it is a SIBI and just using it as a SIBI, and I know this, right? But still I would buy it because that is not me actually reading the market. That is me forcing things onto the market, and market doesn't really give a fuck about anything, as you would know because you have been trading for the past 5 years, right? So Yep. Is it actually helping you, me telling these things? But also, so you see, because you came for a bias when you started this stream, you mentioned it. I'm just pointing it out that that we get better. That is why you are seeing this as an SMT, okay? But I'm pretty sure ES traded, no, never took this high on ES as well. All right, that is okay, because that can be the bearish SMT as well, right? I'm just pointing it out because this is something that I do myself as well. Because if I go with a certain bias, I would keep looking for those things to present, although the market would be presenting me with the opposite bias, but I would not actually point out because I'm so focused into that bias thing that I derived from the 4 hour an hour ago or maybe 2 hours ago. So always keep referring those things again and again, and do not change your bias like just like that. So you see, it just traded back again. We are 5 minutes away from macro. It has taken this sell side. So yeah, the reversal might be possibly in, because ES is trading around 0.75 and respecting it. New day opening gap high is being respected. But we still need to see some sort of bullish sentiment in order to confirm that, right? That would be it trading above this, and at least trading above this after taking these highs, and then you can place yourself here. Once you have got the draw on liquidity confirmed, only then try to place yourself in it. Hmm. Yeah, this is why seeing ES really helps, because when you have seen ES has done that and not really respecting that momentum anymore, then you can expect, that now it is out of juice, and now ES is catching up on NQ rather than NQ catching up on ES. And this has happened with me a lot of times in live stream. You must know this. So you get better and better by building in those reps. TradeZella now has that, uh, option where you can add ES while backtesting NQ as well, and then you can have it simultaneously so that you understand your SMT divergence and all of this thing really well. This has really enhanced my trading. I cannot expect trading NQ alone now, especially when there is risk associated with it. All right, if it respects this as bearish inversion, I might add two so that I can, look for passing my uh, evaluation, like at least do the first day's target, which is $1,500. We are up 1,100, but let's see how it does. You see, last 15 seconds are pushing it higher, so I'll still wait. Really strong last 15 seconds if you saw the whole minute. That is why I always have a countdown. It has got this volume imbalance on ES, new day opening gap high, traded to the consequent encroachment of the new day opening gap, and then traded into this inefficiency. So we are trading lower in 15 to 30 seconds of the candle. This has really helped me. And this works in all things. I used to do this in crypto a lot to scalp. Now let's see how it does on last 15 seconds. You see, so 30 to 15 seconds was the sideway action, which is very much expected when it is trading in these inefficiencies. If 15 seconds does not close below this, then we are going to wait for another minute. Yep, does not. Let's see how it does. If it trades 15 seconds here and the last two 15 seconds higher, that means we are running higher. All right, first 15 seconds, strong sentiment. Nice, nice. All right, last 30 seconds. This actually helps you to wait, you know. It might not give you the perfect bias, but it actually helps you to wait. So last 15 seconds. So 30 to 15 seconds was bullish sentiment, and last 15 seconds also traded higher. And we are back in this SIBI. It only wicked to this order blocks body, and now it is continuing higher. Still has respected this volume imbalance bearishly. Hits that order block, 0.75 of the new week opening gap, and I am going 3 shots again here. I'm going to trail my stop here and looking for continuation until $1,500 have been booked. You see how it helped me? Now you see last 30 to 15 seconds should be bearish. It hits the new week opening gap low here. I'm going to start scaling out as well. We are in macro, expecting it to continue running lower. We have been trading below 0.75. It is about to close that hole in 4-hour inefficiency. Reversal can be expected after that. We are 540, so 32 handles away from there at the moment. All right, ES took the morning sell side. New day opening gap, which is not really a gap, just a price print on ES, is about to be traded into. Lower lows are being made on ES and NQ both. Strong movements are expected until here. Trades through that new day opening gap on from 29th of July. Let's see, 15-minute looks good. Should continue for till 421. Let's see what we've got here. All right, reversal can be expected very soon. I should really start scaling my profits here. This is regular trading hours, can even continue until there. So let's see. Let's see. Got the SIBI above this, so going to trail my stop further, but that will be actually me suffocating my trade, to be honest. Let's see how ES looks. Alright, ES seems good. Did that make any sense, Rashik? Like that 15 seconds reading this countdown? I think it really helps me, but I don't know because I've never shared this with anyone, so I don't know if someone else has observed this or found this valuable. I haven't read this from anywhere or got it from anyone else. Maybe someone else have talked about this and I do not know. But this is something completely my own observation. Like even if you notice that 15 seconds really, makes me hold this because the last 15 seconds were trading below and last 5 were actually this, which is not too bad. And then 15 seconds, push higher. Now second 15 seconds, let's see, trying to push higher into the inefficiency while trades lower on ES cannot really find strength to even trade into this inefficiency. So now this 15 seconds, like later half of the minute, can find some strength because it still needs to trade here. And I just not noticed, like learned from ICT, that every fair value gap that we are trading is actually a turtle soup setup. If you see. No, no, I'm not asking you to see the 15-second chart. I do not have a 15-second chart on any of my screen right now. I'm just saying, like, if you notice at this countdown, like how the 15-second would be forming, uh, you will get an image of it, right? Like, first 15 seconds closed at 45. Now this is the second 15 second that is finding some strength to trade into this. So this whole minute can be allowed to be bullish so that it can trade into this, do this turtle soup, stop these out and continue running lower. That is the SIBI. So every SIBI or every BISI that you are trading is actually a turtle soup setup because that will actually stop these ones out and then continue lower, right? So although it is what it is, but I've never thought it like that, uh, because ICT never explained it like that. But ICT, like in 2024's mentorship, he did. So it was me who is lagging on the learning, not him on explanation things. You see, yeah, that was so surprising for me as well. Like, I was like, what the fuck, man? And it really enhances your understanding of price action. Like, on every stop run, that is why it makes sense. Like, when retail says that whenever I buy, things go lower, and whenever I sell, things go higher. Because people are like seeing these runs, and this happens with me like sometimes as well up till now, even after being in the see these kind of runs, like I'm explaining it here on ES, sees these kind of runs, and then they say, oh, it's going to continue, at least take this high, at least take this high, at least take these highs, equal highs, equal highs, equal highs. But they are not seeing the fact that we are in sell model, man. Okay, it has never taken any significant high, you see, until this one. Like this thing, 450 macro is the last high where it took this high and this high. Then boom, boom, boom. Okay, on this, it took this high. And this must be a macros. You see, this is macros action as well. 550 to 610 macro, it did this. Boom, and then boom, boom, boom. Never took any highs. You see? So this is why, I do not learn from anyone else, okay? Because everyone who is explaining ICT is explaining from what small thing they have they have, understood from it and have made it, use it for their edge to make it profitable. But for you and for me to find that edge and to refine that edge, you need to study ICT from ICT. Okay, I've got another neighbor here who is trying to learn from me, but then he keeps on taking those 5 ICT minute videos, where I know I used to do that as well from someone else, and it never made any sense to me. But learning ICT from ICT has completely changed my life, trust me. And there is no better experience than that. If you really love that, love this thing that you are doing, as you told me in our last stream, then bro, why would you learn it from anyone else? It never made any sense to me, because I discovered ICT much later in my career. So I've hit the $1,500 limit on the other accounts. I will have to move this chart because I'm opening my account details for now, so that I make sure that I do not have any orders on the other three accounts. I am targeting 3,000 on this, so let's see if it gives me on the other account. Just bear with me for a second. You will be able to see this chart in a second. It should really remove all the orders. Yes, that's nice. Okay. No orders on this account as well. No orders on this account as well. Perfecto. So, yep, I can put it back, sir. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, man, just learn it from him. Yeah, it is really, what it is. So, yeah, I was talking about the fact that I knew that there is someone called ICT, and there are the concepts he trades is totally different from retail, but I never discovered his channel by myself. Like, I never knew it is Inner Circle Trader and on YouTube like this. So, I always thought that he does paid mentorship and all of those shit, right? So, luckily, uh, I was, yeah, just scrolling through YouTube and his channel just popped up on my feed. And that was it, man. Like, since then, I've never even went into someone else's channel to study ICT. Yes, I've gone there to see what they are doing with ICT, like what their lifestyle looks like, what their goals look like, and how they counter with the emotions and all of other aspects. But for technical science and to study the charts, not going anywhere. As hard as this HR. Explain it once. Do you consider swings after 10:10 a.m. as HR? Bro, I don't really know what is HR, to be honest. High resistance? 10:10. Where is 10:10? So we are in macro. This is what it did. Close the inefficiency completely here. I'm going to book one. To be owned by. I knew it would do that, but it's okay. Yeah, bro. Sorry, I couldn't. High resistance liquidity run. Yeah. 10:10 a.m. 10:10 a.m. Okay. So bro, I would say the reason it did not really took those highs was the fact that we are currently in a BC. It's a huge 4-hour BC with this volume imbalances and the fact that we are trading at all-time highs. So it really needs to retrace. On ES, as you can see, now it is inside this daily, not daily, sorry, 4-hour discount wick. I'm going to grade that if it is not being graded. I think it is bouncing off from the 0.25. You see the something is going on there for sure. So move it here to reduce the risk. And let's see how the 4-hour looks. Daily discount wick. Going to move it to this, and let's see what have we got here. All right, you see this tilted soup. New day opening gap 29th of July, but this is really finding some strength now. High resistance liquidity run versus low resistance liquidity run. Yeah. So if you see this run, once it was confirmed that it is not trading any higher into the 4-hour premium wick, it was a low resistance liquidity run because we did not really trade any lower throughout the day. The new day opening gap was huge and it wasn't really retested. So, and then if you see the 4-hour, it was trading here. So it is a really low resistance liquidity run, right? Even if you see on 1 hour, okay, 1 hour was here at 4 o'clock, even at 8 o'clock it was here. So all right, let's see at 8 o'clock where was it trading from. Not really any specific PD array, right? And then you had all of this like this. If once it is confirmed on lower time frame that it is running lower, you would see a low resistance liquidity run, which we got before open because there was a news at 8:30. It took these highs here, took this high, okay, but never took high after that and kept on dropping lower. So hope I was able to explain it properly here. All right, it is trading inside this CB that we want it to hold bearishly. Also, do study these wicks as well. Always, wicks are always treated as gaps, so always study them by grading it. All right, nice reaction. Yes, respected that as well. Was I able to answer that, Rashik? All good. Thank you. This needs to be used to run lower. You see, so if I would use it as a bullish inversion, this fair value gap, it is not yet confirmed on ES. If we are only looking at ES and would want to trade on ES, this is not yet confirmed. But I always thought that this is confirmed now as a beginner and learning ICT from someone else. But when's because why it is not confirmed? It respected this key annotation really bearishly, right? It never closed above it. Then we had this order block as well. And if you study this wick, okay, let's study this wick. Once it has gone lower. Let's study this wick, what it did after that. You see, consequent encroachment of the wick, because wick is considered as a gap. That is why this is not the midpoint. It is a consequent encroachment. It respected that. So I have only got into this much detail with the help of ICT. This can never be told in a 5 minute, or learn ICT in 30 minutes. So yeah, and you see, if it was me in the first 3 months of learning ICT from someone else, I would have learned and would have got stopped out. Although it did not take the low, but you know the spread, right? Now it is only trading into this volume imbalance if it makes until there. But if it fails, that doesn't mean that ICT fails. It only means that it is more weaker, and then your bias is much stronger. So keep reading the price by removing the money element, and it is really worth it. New week opening gap, consequent encroachment. It is from this week's, so that can be a good continuation of run. 481, that is 60 points from here, or at least to the high of the new week opening gap, that is 30 points as well. So I am going to add more here. Let's see, where can I add? Yeah, maybe into this retracement, but it might not even trade back again there. Yeah. First presented fair value gap Wednesday. This is 4-hour discount wick. Can we consider swings after 10 a.m. as liquidity to targets once we got set up to buy after lunch? Yes, yes. So if this run, what it is doing right now, if it would have continued until 10:20 and 10:30, then the high it would create after 10 o'clock would be a really good buy side liquidity to target in the lunch hour macro, that is 10:50 to 11:10. That is one of the typical lunch hour macro profile. But if you are trying to understand low resistance liquidity run, that needs to be derived by a higher time frame, I believe, like 4 hour or something like that. And then the time you need to put the time element inside of it, that when which macro is it going to use to do the run on the liquidity. And that is how you align yourself in a high probability setup. So traded inside this CB but closed bearishly and closed below first presented fair value gap from Wednesday of this week. Oh, also, damn man, how can I be so stupid? Today is Friday, right? So TGIF, brother. and such a good TGIF that it was highly probable that we had this volume imbalance and all of this as well. So yeah, simple, easy peasy. 0.25405.75. I'm going to add here. And shit, no, that is not what I wanted to do. Shit. All right, no worries. This will require some management now. All right. So if it stops me out here, that will be 15 points, so 300 and around 400 dollars loss, but I cannot move it any lower up till now. This is what I'm going to do, taking it at 0.25 rather than consequent encroachment to position myself in a better situation, but it will also drop my buy here. Yep, you see, but still I've booked something. And what I'll do is what I just explained to you is do this and booking another two, I say here. So 20 points on 6, so that is around $220 loss if I get stopped out here, but will still be profitable on the overall trade. It should not move my entry any further lower on this partial, I believe, but let's see. Today is Thursday. Oh, sorry, man. Because I'm in Australia, it's 12:46 a.m. So sorry. I saw Thursday, Friday, maybe on my computer or somewhere, maybe on my phone right now, and that is what got me confused. Apologies. But end of month, do you use TGIF for month and year end? Oh. Hearing it for the first time, brother, but really sounds good. Really, really sounds good. Can you tell me a little more about it, please? Like, how do you align the TGIF with the end of month and like what are we expecting there? All right, it is retracing. Need to refer all of these new day opening gaps. New day opening gap from yesterday has been referred and closed below that. Let's see. Are you trading at midnight now? No, bro. Like, that is not my setup, but I, being myself, sometimes, end up doing that, and that is what I did on Monday, Tuesday, and last week, or even on my funded account with TPT, and that is how I lost it on last week's Friday by going reckless on an Asian session, I think. So this is what happens with me after a few weeks of good trading. I get overconfident and get ahead of myself, and then market humbles me down, and yeah. All right. Yes, seems to be bouncing off from here. 0.25 of this has been referred. Did not really do this sell side, or did it? 402.25 low has come at 402. Okay, took that sell side. Let's see if it wants to bounce from here. My stop should be safe if it wants to keep continuing lower. I don't think if it trades up there, then it is going to keep continuing lower. And it's 11:30. We are approaching 11:30. It can be a very much expected bounce. I'm not holding it anymore. I've closed it here. Yep. And now I'm going to wait here. Yes, bro. It is midnight, past midnight. It's 12:50 a.m. right now where I am from. So this is also one of the thing that plays up with me, that I really need to go completely against my routine and everything to trade New York session. So yeah, that is why my, health and everything is being affected by this. So only because the time is really highly probable to take these highs right now, that is why I closed this position, trust me. If the time was like 10:40 or 10 and we were seeing a similar price of a similar kind of price action, I would have stuck to my short. And you see what it did? So my stop was above this, and I'm pretty sure it is going to fill that and at least take these highs. Yeah. But this is not a trade advice, or you jump into trade or anything like that just because I said so. You see, it will keep running higher. It can refer this again, and that can be used as a buy. But to be honest, like I have made 2000 here. Um, we have got another day in a week. I'm not really targeting to pass this funded account for this week. Let's see. I might, I'll not take this trade, but I might trade again around 11:50 to 12:10 macro if it provides me with anything solid. Until then, I think I've done, I'm sorry, enough for the session. Booked first day's profit on three accounts and up 2000 on the other account, where we are required another $1,172. So what I'll be targeting with these four funded accounts is to copy trade all four of them together while live streaming here. And my main goal is to have 30 winning days on these accounts so that we can, transition to live. That is one of my major goals for my trading journey, because I used to do live trading in crypto, but I haven't never tried doing that in futures or forex. I've only always went with prop firms, and yeah, that is how I'm going to build it up, like build this business. I'm going to milk these prop firms and going to build up my own capital with which I can trade with. My first goal is to have at least 20,000 USD um, live account that I can trade throughout the year with. And yeah, so 11:23. I'm so tempted to go long here. Oh, I need to close my followers on copier. I close, refresh. 0.25 of the wick. Now, tell me, Rashik, has any other YouTuber who is teaching ICT has gone into those details? I'm not talking about myself here to praise, but I'm saying that these things can only be told in a 3 hour or 4 hour live stream with a proper narrative and what's the science behind it. No one, even this creator, when cannot, do you think ICT would want to lose subscriber or viewership just because he cannot condense his logic? No, the logic cannot be condensed any further, man. Yeah. So that's the reason that always refer to ICT for technical science. Do use others' content for different things like finding motivation, finding how they keep themselves focus. Like if you see Kane and Jade Cap, like those guys are crazy, man. But obviously they have got heaps of experience behind them. It's I think Kane is sitting at 8 or 9 years of experience, while Jade is at plus 14 or 15 years experience. And he got profitable like after 10 years of experience, Jade Cap, if I'm not wrong. So the time it takes to master yourself is what makes this difficult, you know. Like I would have went long, because as you know me, I'm really impulsive. But knowing what you are and knowing your emotions actually help you understand and mitigate those habits. I would have went long here and now I would have been in drawdown after such a good day. And that doesn't mean that the setup is not good, but it means that you should know where you are standing at the moment and if your business really needs what you are clicking for. Because in this trading business, you have got only one operational cost, and that is your stop loss. But the wonderful thing about this trading business is that stop loss is completely under your control. It's all about your ego and you yourself that makes it bigger for your business or something that you cannot afford or your business cannot afford at the moment. So now it looks really nice to long this and use this CB as a bullish inversion. If it dips lower, then yep. And 11:27, this run is usually done around 11:30. So I'm with time as well. So I might tag long if it fills me here. I'll place a limit order in fact. Let's see if we get filled. And then my stop will be this low. I'll actually cancel it because the new week opening gaps consequent encroachment has been missed by a few points. That is the only reason I'm not trading and taking this long. I think it can continue lower as well. It is currently using first presenter fair value gap. That is not really a setup. That is actually a counter argument for this long, which I don't really wanna place myself in at the moment because I'm trading on the evaluations and I'm in win-win. I need to make $1,000, like 1,200, I think, on this account, while I need to make 1,500 on the other accounts, which I can try for tomorrow, which is Friday, and maybe Monday. No worries, no need to rush anything. Just going to stay here. I might not even press any buttons even in the 11:50 to 12:10 macro, but just going to stay here, tape read the market, and yeah, if you want to stay and learn, that will be great. But if you want to leave, got anything to do, feel free. I will be reading the market just like we do here all the time. So never traded inside this, but use the new week opening gap high to continue running prices higher. I would have been stopped out here on my short, remember, which we closed in profit. I would have been stopped out here at $200 loss. So I made, I think, 400 more. Yep, 400 more. That would have been 1300 balance on my account. So you see, at the end of the day, it's all about being profitable, and profitability matters, not being right or satisfying your ego. This can be used as a breaker if it dips lower, and the lowest hanging fruit objective targets can be these highs inside this inefficiency. Yeah, I'll close this as well. So yes, boss, that's the update. I'll go get some water and something to munch on as well while we do this. Just give me 30 seconds. Took more than 30 seconds. Sorry for about that. I'm filled in for loans. Okay, good luck, brother. Good luck. It is being delivered just like I explained. Beautiful. And the most beautiful thing is that I did not participate in it, and yet it is working out, and I am feeling no rush to jump in or seeing like I have missed anything, or I could have passed my evaluation or anything like that. We are over that, and those sort of feelings. Uh, you need to kill those feelings. We here sit every day and point out these setups every day. These are time-based setups. These are buses that come on every weekday at the same time. You just need to present yourself consistently enough to be exposed enough to know when to expect them and how to place yourself inside them so that you can be profitable. So, Rashik bhai, if you see this, just what I told you, you could have used this as your entry model. 50% of this premium wick of what? Premium wick of a breaker. If you are looking for longs. Currently, it is trading in the SIBI, so finding some sort of reaction, which is very much expected. Nothing to worry about. Might find and fill in this as a bullish inversion. I'll draw it through a rectangle. All right, so just dipped at the top of this inversion this time. Use the consequent encroachment of the breaker's premium wick and seems to be continuing higher. Our target was these highs, right? Beautiful. Why particularly that candle? Because boss, that is the breaker. It's the last up close candle before doing this run, right? Two. So that is your breaker. So if it is bullish enough, and that could be expected here because the we have traded literally 797 and 5, so 300 points of straight nosedive down run. So now we can expect it to not trade into these gaps, because that will be too much asking of it to do the movement. So once you know this is a breaker, which was confirmed when it inversed this. So it never give you a fill here, like it never gave me a fill here, then I would be using this breaker or breaker's premium wick to place myself, maybe the top of it or the consequent encroachment. And it worked out perfectly. Hope I was able to explain that. And grade this inefficiency as well to see how it is actually, what it is telling us. So referred the consequent encroachment, came back, but the next candle never even traded below that. First 15 seconds have passed. Now, second 15 seconds of the 1 minute candle, and you would want the last two 15 seconds to close bullishly in order for it to use the lower quadrant as a support this time to continue running higher. Time, then price, boss, always. So if you would have used 531 as your fill, this is 584. 50, 53 freaking points, man. And this was a really high probability setup, which I pointed out way before. And I did not really participate in this because it missed this by a few ticks, and that was the only thing. But wasn't really like, if I had to trade here, I would have gone here, you know. But as I mentioned in the last stream, that currently I'm only working on building up this patience and the fact that this repeats every fucking day. I do not need to leverage myself or do stupid things. I've done that enough times now. So you see, use this, even closed above the consequent encroachment. Use this consequent encroachment again, and this wick, you want to study this? Let's do that. I'm freak about this, bro. Just went a little short of the upper quadrant. Okay, close above the consequent encroachment of the inefficiency that we are looking at, and never even trade referred the consequent encroachment again. Got this volume imbalance, which might bring the price back again into this, but that will also be price using this SIBI as a bullish inversion to continue its run higher, at least to this high. Beautiful. Beautiful. We have also got 4-hour inefficiency 0.75. Like, this is the lower quadrant of the 4-hour inefficiency, if I'm not wrong. Yep, this is the low. This is the lower quadrant. This is the consequent encroachment. Yep. You see? Now it can even dip lower to this volume imbalance. I'll mark that out. If you are studying price like this, man, trust me, it will only take you 6 to 8 months. Using upper half, not yet, but is about to refer the upper half of the inefficiency as bullish inversion. And 50 points, I had to make $1,000, right? 50 points is $1,000 on micro contract. This is not me reminding myself that I missed a setup. This is me that it was all there, but I missed it because I trust myself to get this either tomorrow or maybe on Monday or maybe on Tuesday or maybe on next Monday. Let's see. All right, so did not really refer this. You can also study these inefficiencies like exclusively, because I have drawn this like that. It can also be studied like this. You see, refer this. But I have found more benefit in doing it like this. Approaching macro in 8 minutes. So last half an hour for our stream. Damn, man, this is 3.5 hour stream already. But hope you guys are learning from this and this is beneficial. So refer the top of the inefficiency this time seems to be ready to take this buy side. All right, refer the 0.25. Might even go for this and the consequent encroachment. Referred the 0.25. Seems to be all ready to sweep these highs. And refer the 4-hour inefficiency lower quadrant. Oh, 9 about to be delivered. And I'll just close this stream once it has delivered this because I think that should be enough. It's already 3.5 hour stream. If someone wants to refer it, I don't want to be another ICT here with that reference. So once it has delivered this, we'll be going off. And let's see tomorrow's calendar. We have 8:30 a.m. non-farm. So I'll be live at 8:30 tomorrow, just like today. And see you guys tomorrow, but I'll still wait if it delivers this so that I know what we were doing here, and it has done this, and I can close off my charts and go live off my life. 4 minutes in macro. ES trading above the new day opening gap and then filled this BCU really beautifully, closing above the new day opening gap from 29th of July. Looks really bullish. ES seems to be working this week. Consequent encroachment referred, lower half referred. And boom, we wish. All right, delivered. Nope, nope, nope. All right, now it is working this gap. Referred consequent encroachment. Lower quadrant, low. All right, sheet. That is some correction. Okay, referred the SEBI's upper quadrant. Looks like it wants to reverse or what? Or maybe providing some discount for macro. Let's see. It's 584.5. What was the high? 584.25. Damn. Missed it by a tick. And then came 17 points lower. 17 points lower, seriously. 584.25, 66. Yes, man, 18 points. That is how much the market is moving right now. Okay. All right. Reverse this, then close this nicely. So nothing to worry about up till now. This volume imbalance is still unreferred and open. Alright, referred the lower quadrant, refers the volume imbalance. Consequent encroachment of the CB. This doesn't look good. Alright, somehow respects the volume imbalance. So that is nice. Would like to close above this volume imbalance and consequent encroachment to expect continuation. ES is working inside this, which was previously used to run higher, so it should speed up either lower from here or speed up either higher from here. This is a key point of interest on ES. Let's see what it did. So on NQ it is actually this retracement, this inefficiency. Why that inefficiency? Because if you see, it was previously used to run prices lower. This is what ICT teaches as well, that whatever PD array was previously respected is a high point of interest for when it comes back again. And when if you see his executions, whenever he sees that I'm expecting speed now, are of these PD arrays. This is what he explains in 2024 mentorship, and you can see how it reacted. Did not really trade to the upper half of the inefficiency and already reacting bullishly. So we can expect it to dip here and continue to this buy side. Be right back in a second. Right now I wanted to respect this volume imbalance bullishly. He is respected nicely of this as well. We are in macro. So first minute of macro dipped inside this inefficiency to provide some discount, and since then it has been continuing. Should sweep this buy side liquidity that we marked out since here. And if I would have went long from here, my stop would be at least this low, this low, or incorporate both of these new day opening gaps. All right, is trading around that volume imbalance again. Should close above that, or maybe if it wants to trade inside this inefficiency one more time. All right, looking good. So this is why I do not like these setups a lot, because it takes its time and it looks like that we are trading in Asian range or some overnight session, and then it doesn't really allow you to trail your stop effectively as well. Like if I would have gone long using this breaker from here, okay, initially using this as my stop, okay, um, then we could have possibly be retracing it to just to my entry, right? If I move this wick can be reused again as well. So that is another problem where I feel difficult being part of these runs, but these are really high probability, and this happens most of the time whenever there is a down movement throughout the first hour or 1.5 hour. Thought it would allow me to close the stream there, but as it has not delivered, if it is not delivered until 12:10, then I'm sorry, I won't be able to stay. But if it is delivered before, and which I'm expecting it to be done, um, I'll close off the stream. I would love to see your other friend as well, Rashik, on the stream tomorrow. No, don't just make him watch. Like, if he enjoys the content and learning anything out of it. No, no, I'm talking about the third person that you were talking about. And everyone has got their own style of learning. and the main focus is to be focused on the goal of learning and being good at this skill. All right, ES makes a higher high and Q is still in that range. We are 1 minute away from 12 o'clock open. Seems like it is going to be delivered at 12 o'clock. ES trades higher, about to retest first presented fair value gap from Monday. Hey Thevraj, how did it go? How was your session? About to be delivered, expecting 12 o'clock to sweep higher. All right, delivered. Thank you very much. So that will be it, guys. A pretty long stream for today. 3 hours and 41 minutes already. So I am sorry about that, but hopefully you have learned a lot from this. It was a really nice day. Took two trades only, I think. Yeah, I kept on adding on my shorts, never really took any long. Was about to take a long here, but didn't really feel like, and gave the entry, stop loss, and the target, which just got delivered. I usually stay until 12:10, but I'll close off my stream now. It's been a good day and nice talking to you, Devraj and Rashik. Thank you for being here. It's great learning with people who are using same strategy and concepts to read the price action. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow we have got non-farm payroll at 8:30. Please be, you know, please stay safe. Make sure that you are the person in complete control of your funds and your accounts. Do not do over leveraging. It's just another day. We will be having smoother price action next week and the week after that. So do not rush into something stupid. All good. Thank you very much and stay tuned. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Cheers. Bye.